Hello everyone, I'm Polly Plum, and in this video I'm going to be demonstrating how to make this crochet Afghan block queenie. For this tutorial I used Red Heart with Love yarn and a 6mm crochet hook. You can use whatever yarn you want for this type of work, just make sure that you pick a crochet hook that is appropriately sized for your yarn. You're also going to need a tapestry needle and scissors just for weaving in ends. Now in this tutorial, I'm assuming that you're going to change colors every round, but you don't have to do that. This pattern has lots of opportunities for color play, but it also looks great in fewer colors or even just a single color. It looks fantastic in a single color. If you want to work any round using the same color as the previous round, that is to say to not cut your yarn in between rounds, you can do that. But the best place to get instructions for that is the written pattern that can be found free on my blog or in the PDF. That leads me to my last bit of information before we get started. This pattern is totally free right here on YouTube or on my blog, everytrickonthehook.com. But if you prefer PDFs that you can save or print, I've got one available on Ravelry and Etsy for just a few dollars. Buying it not only gets you a beautiful printable ad-free copy of the pattern, but it helps me keep the lights on and feed my bottomless pits that are also known as children. I will drop a link to that in the description to the blog and to the PDF. And that's it. I think that covers everything, so let's get started. I'm going to begin with a magic circle. If you don't like magic circles, that is completely fine. I will show you what to do instead in just a moment, so hang tight. Alright, so I use a double magic circle. To do that, I wrap the yarn around my fingers twice instead of once. Insert your hook into the circles, pull up a loop. Okay, take your fingers out of the yarn, hold this tight with your hook hand, and then get your yarn ready to work with, okay, in your yarn hand. And pull it tight around the hook again and chain one. I like to pull that chain one tight, then sort of rearrange. There we go. Chain three more, 1, 2, 3, so a total of 4 chains. This counts as your first double crochet. The first 3 chains are your first double crochet, and the fourth one is going to count as a chain 1 space. Now I want you to make double crochet, chain 1 into the magic circle 7 times. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, total of 7 times. So with your starting chain, that will be a total of 8 double crochets and chain 1 spaces. Okay, now to close a double magic circle, find your yarn end and sort of untwist it. It usually gets wrapped up in the loops. Find the yarn end and pull on it just a little bit. Don't close it yet, just pull it a little bit and see which of the 2 loops starts to tighten. The one that starts to tighten is the one that you want to pull closed first. Pull it from the top, and it will close the other loop, and then you can go back to your yarn end and pull that loop tight. Okay, now slip stitch to the 1, 2, 3, the third chain of the starting chain to form your circle, and then fasten off. I don't have my scissors, but fasten off. And that is round 1. Okay, if you don't want to use a magic circle, you can start with a slip knot on your hook, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch to that first chain to form a loop. Okay, now I like to slip stitch into the loop before I get started. Kind of pull that tight. Okay. Then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as your first double crochet and chain 1 space. and then make double crochet chain 1 7 times into the loop. Okay, so that with the chain 3 that counts as our first double crochet, we should have a total of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 DCs and chain 1 spaces. Now slip stitch to the third chain in that chain 4 we started with, and fasten off if you're changing colors. Okay, now I'm going to show you the trick that will make this work just like something made with a magic circle. So go to the yarn end from the very beginning, and we're going to weave it in and use it to close up this hole. So all you have to do is weave this yarn end under the base of these double crochets. So this is the back of my work. Under the base, you can see the 2 loops of yarn that go down the bottom of the round. Don't pull it tight yet. Go all the way around once, and then you should be able to pull that tight. You might need to go around another time just to make sure it stays secure. Pull it nice and tight, and then you probably want to loop it around a loop of yarn and weave it back the other way so that you can snip the end and it stays nice and secure. Okay, that should do it. And there you go. You get the exact same effect as a magic circle, but you don't have to use the magic circle. Okay, now round 2. We are going to start, I like to use standing stitches. You do not have to use standing stitches. If you want, you can slip stitch to wherever we're starting throughout the pattern and just, you know, chain as many times as you need. 3 chains for a double crochet, 2 chains for a half double crochet. But I like to use standing stitches, and I'll show you how I make a standing double crochet. So with the slip knot on my hook, just yarn over, and you just sort of hold that in place. I use my thumb to hold it in place. And then insert your hook into any of the chain 1 spaces and pull up a loop. You just keep your thumb on those loops that are on your hook, okay? Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook, and you release the one with your thumb. And now everything's a lot more secure, but you know, hang on to that, at least that 1 loop just to be safe. Then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. If you need to, grab onto the yarn tail to hold everything in place. And that's a standing double crochet. See, easy enough, right? Okay, now make 2 more double crochets in that same chain 1 space. And then chain 1. So 3 double crochets, chain 1. And we're just going to do that all the way around. 3 double crochets in each chain 1 space, and then chain 1 all the way around. All right, when you've made it all the way around, you can slip stitch to the first stitch to join, or I'll show you how to do an invisible join. What you do is pull your loop up a little bit. Okay. Then down here, cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through and thread it onto your needle. Okay. Now, look at not the first stitch, but the second stitch. Put your yarn needle under the top 2 loops of the second stitch. Pull that yarn through. And now come back down through the back loop only of that chain 1 that you finished with, so your last stitch that you made. And you've got 2 loops of yarn here. What we're going to do is pull them tight so that they're about the same size as all the other stitches, and they're going to form 2 new top loops for the very first stitch. And if you look closely, you can see where the original loops are sitting underneath these 2 new loops, so it's almost completely invisible. You are going to want to weave your end in after that, because it will come loose pretty easily if you don't weave it in right away. But that's it. That is an invisible join. I don't use that on all of my rounds. I didn't use it on round 1 because it's hidden. The join is really hidden. On round 2, it kind of shows, so I wanted to show you how to do it. A few of the other rounds it's nice too, but it's not necessary. You can just slip stitch to join. In fact, I did on my other 2 samples that I made. I just slip stitched all the rounds because it's easier and it doesn't show that much. But that's how to do an invisible join if you want a little extra polished look on any of these rounds. Now, gauge isn't very important for this pattern, and that's because the last 2 rounds I've left really simple so that you can adjust them for more or less size depending on what you need at the end. But if you want to check gauge, now's the time. After round 2, you should be at about 3 inches across. That means your square will come out roughly the same size as mine at 12 inches. Okay, for round 3, we're going to start with another standing double crochet in any chain 1 space. And then chain 2, and then make another double crochet in the same chain 1 space. Then chain 2, and repeat that all the way around. We're going to make in the next chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then chain 2. Next chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2. Okay, all the way around. And when you get back to the beginning, just go ahead and slip stitch to the first double crochet to join. This is not an important round to do an invisible join, so I would just use a slip stitch to join this round. Okay, for round 4, I want you to start in any of the chain 2 spaces that are directly above the 3 double crochet clusters, okay? Not the chain 2 spaces between the 2 double crochets, but the ones between sets of double crochets. Into any of those chain 2 spaces, make a standing single crochet. Then into the next chain 2 space, make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and make 3 more double crochets, all into the same chain 2 space. Then into the next chain 2 space, another single crochet. And we're just going to repeat that. Into the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. Single crochet in the next chain 2 space, then in the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Okay, and go ahead and do that all the way around and slip stitch to the first single crochet to join You should not need an invisible join for this round. It's going to be hidden. Okay, round 5. What I want you to do is locate the second double crochet after any single crochet. So pick a single crochet, any one, and then there's 1 double crochet after it and 2 double crochets after it. That's the stitch we're going to start in. So first make a standing double crochet in that stitch. Then double crochet in the next stitch. Now into the chain 2 space, make 2 double crochets. And then chain 2 and 2 more double crochets. Now double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. Now we're going to make a front post double crochet around the single crochet. So skip the next double crochet and around the next single crochet a front post double. So to do a front post double, you just yarn over like a regular double. Insert your hook behind, from front to back, behind or around the post of the single crochet. Then yarn over and pull up a loop like that. And then complete your double crochet. Okay, that's a front post double crochet. Now skip the next double crochet and into the next 2 double crochets make double crochets. So 1 and 2, and then into the chain 2 space make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Double crochet in each of the next 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. Skip the next double crochet and around the post of the next single crochet make a front post double crochet. Skip the next double crochet and double crochet into each of the next 2 double crochets. Okay, so now you're seeing our pattern. Chain 2 space, we're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, double crochet in each of the next 2 double crochets, skip the next double crochet, front post double crochet around the next single crochet. Okay, so that's our pattern. Work that all the way around and slip stitch to the first stitch to join. I am not going to bother with an invisible join for this round either. Okay, to start round 6, find any front post double crochet and count to the 3rd double crochet after that front post double. So here's the front post double, here's 1, 2, 3 double crochets. That's the double crochet we're going to start in. We're going to make a standing single crochet in that stitch. Single crochet in the next stitch, and into the chain 2 space make single crochet and then chain 1 and then single crochet again. Now I would advise you to put a stitch marker in that chain 1 space right there if you feel like you are going to have trouble working into that chain 1 space later. A stitch marker can make it much easier to find that. So the best thing to do is, before you make your second single crochet, put the stitch marker around that chain space and then make your second single crochet. Okay, now single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to skip the next 2 double crochets and around that front post double crochet make a front post double crochet, then chain 3 and make another front post double crochet around the same front post double crochet. Okay, Now skip the next 2 double crochets and single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Now we're just repeating this. So into the next chain 2 space, single crochet, chain 1, place your stitch marker, single crochet. Single crochet into each of the next 2 double crochets. Skip the next 2 double crochets and around the front post double crochet make front post double crochet, chain 3, and another front post double crochet. Skip the next 2 double crochets, single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Into the chain 2 space make single, chain 1, single, single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Skip the next 2 stitches, front post double crochet around the front post double crochet, chain 3, and then make another front post double crochet around that front post. Okay, so that's the pattern. Just go ahead and repeat that all the way around. When you get to the first stitch, you slip stitch to join. If you want to make an invisible join this round, you can. I don't think it's particularly important. It's mostly hidden, so it's up to you if you want to get some practice in with that. Or if you don't want to bother, I don't think it's completely necessary for this round. Okay, round 7. To start round 7, locate any chain 1 space. If you used a stitch marker, good for you. Find a chain 1 space in any of these points and make a standing single crochet. Now chain 3, and we're going to skip all the stitches this round and just work into the chain 1 spaces and the chain 3 spaces, okay? So into this next chain 3 space, we're going to make a popcorn stitch. To make a popcorn stitch, make 4 double crochets. Okay, now pull your loop up just a little bit, hold it in your yarn hand and take your hook out. Insert your hook, oops, my needle fell. Insert your hook into the first double crochet that you made and put the loop back on your hook and pull it through. And that's a popcorn stitch. Now chain 2 and make another popcorn stitch, so 4 double crochets. Take your hook out, put it in the first of the 4 double crochets, put the loop back on the hook, and pull it through. Chain 2, and then 1 more popcorn stitch in the same chain 3 space. It is going to be a little tight by the time you get to the 4th stitch. If you need to, just scooch the first 2 popcorn stitches over to make room. Okay. Hook out into the first of the 4 double crochets, back on, and pull through. Okay, there's our 3 popcorn stitches. Now we're going to chain 3, find the next chain 1 space, and make a single crochet. Chain 3, and let's do that again. Oops, that was only 2. Chain 3, and then make a popcorn stitch, chain 2, another popcorn stitch, chain 2, and another third popcorn stitch, and chain 3 before you single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Okay, so go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and you can slip stitch to the first single crochet to join. We're going to start round 8 by making a front post single crochet around any of our single crochets. So pick any one and make a standing front post single crochet around that single crochet. Now the next stitch we're going to make is actually going to be made into the next round 6 single crochet. So this pink round here, the single crochet that comes right after the chain 1 space that has a single crochet in it, this very next one, we're going to make a double crochet into that stitch. And we're going to be very careful not to catch the chain 3 space from round 7. We're going to make sure we don't work into that chain space. We keep it behind our work, and then let's make another double crochet into round 6 into the next single crochet of round 6. Okay, now into that round 7 chain 3 space that's behind our double crochets, make a single crochet into that chain 3 space. Now skip the popcorn, and into the chain 2 space between the 2 popcorns, make 3 single crochets. And now chain 1, and again here is a good place to put a stitch marker around that chain 1 so that you're able to find it much easier in the next round. Into the next chain 2 space, 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Into the next chain 3 space, 1 single crochet. And now we're going to work into the round 6 single crochets. So you can see there's 3 here, 1, 2, and 3 single crochets in round 6 between the popcorn and the single crochet. Skip the first one, into the second one make a double crochet. Make sure you don't get the round 7 chain 3 space in your stitch. And then into the third one make another double crochet. Again, make sure you don't get that chain space. Now we're at the next single crochet. We're going to actually start to form our corner here. So I want you to make a front post double crochet around this single crochet, the round 7 single crochet, and then chain 3 and make another front post double crochet around the same single crochet. Now working back into the round 6 single crochets, double crochet in each of the next 2 round 6 single crochets. Again, keep that chain space behind your work. And now into that chain space that we were just avoiding, make a single crochet. Alright, this is going to form your corner eventually. Now skip the popcorn, and into the next chain 2 space make 3 single crochets. Chain 1, place a stitch marker if you want help finding that chain 1 later. 3 single crochets in the next chain 2 space. Single crochet in the next chain 3 space. And now again we're going to look at these 3 single crochets from round 6. Skip the first one, into the second and the third one each. We're going to make a double crochet, avoiding that chain space. Double crochet in each of those 2 stitches, and then around the post of the next single crochet from round 7, make a front post single crochet. This is back to where we started. Let's look at the pattern, repeat one more time. So in the next 2 round 6 single crochets, we're going to make double crochets. Into the round 7 chain 3 space, make a single crochet. Skipping the popcorns, make 3 single crochets in the next chain 2 space. Chain 1, place your stitch marker if you're using them. 3 single crochets in the next chain 2 space. One single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Now double crochet in the second and third single crochets from round 6. Now it's time to start forming our corner again. So around this single crochet, we're going to make front post double crochet, chain 3, front post double crochet. Now double crochet in the next round 6 single crochet, each of the next 2 round 6 single crochets, single crochet in the round 7 chain 3 space, 3 single crochets in the next chain 2 space, chain 1, place your stitch marker, 3 single crochets in the next chain 2 space, 1 single crochet in the next chain 3 space, double crochet in the second and third of the round 6 single crochets, and then we are back to where we started again with a front post single crochet around the single crochet. Okay, so that is how the pattern repeat goes for round 8. Go ahead and finish up this round and slip stitch to join, or this is actually a good round to do an invisible join if you so choose. We'll start round 9 with a standing single crochet in any of these front post single crochets. Now single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. And that should take you to the chain 1 space. Put 1 single crochet in the chain 1 space, and then chain 1. Now single crochet in each of the next 4 single crochets. Now we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and into the chain 3 space we're going to make 9 double crochets. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now skip the next 3 stitches and single crochet in each of the next 4 single crochets. Chain 1. Again, these chain 1 spaces you may want to put a stitch marker in them so that they're easy to find later. Then single crochet into the next chain 1 space, and now we're going to single crochet in each of the next 13 stitches, so that's each stitch across to the next chain 1 space. And you can see that brings us back to where we started at the front post single crochet right here. So let's go ahead and go through the pattern one more time and I'll let you finish. Okay, into the next chain one space, make a single crochet and then chain one. Place your stitch marker if you're using them, then single crochet in each of the next 4 single crochets. Then skip the next 3 stitches and into the chain 3 space, we're going to make 9 double crochets. Three, 6, 9. Okay. Then skip the next 3 stitches into the next 4 stitches, single crochet in each of those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 1, place your stitch marker, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, and then single crochet in each of the next 13 stitches. And this will take you back to the beginning, so go ahead and repeat that all the way around. When you get to the first stitch, use slip stitch to join, or again, this is another good place to do an invisible join. Alright, for round 10, for simplicity's sake, we are going to start with a standing single crochet in the middle single crochet on any side. So the middle single crochet between chain 1 spaces, it's the one that we made into the front post single crochet. So that one right there, standing single crochet, and then single crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. That will bring you to the chain 1 space. Make a single crochet in that chain 1 space. Then chain 1. We're going to skip the next 4 single crochets, but we're not going to work into the double crochet. We're actually going to work into the space between the last single crochet and the next double crochet. We're going to make a treble into that space. So yarn over twice to make a treble. Then chain 1 and make another treble in the same exact spot. Okay. Now skip the next 2 double crochets. So skip the first and the second double crochet into the third double crochet, make a V-stitch, which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now skip the next double crochet, and into the double crochet after that we're going to make double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet. And that chain 3 space is going to be our corner chain space. Now, turn to work down the next side. Skip the next double crochet, into the next double crochet make a V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, skip the next 2 double crochets, and in the space between the last double crochet and the next single crochet, we're going to make treble, chain 1, treble. Okay, then chain 1, and we're going to skip the 4 single crochets here, and into the chain 1 space make a single crochet. And now we can just single crochet in each of these stitches across. There should be 15 stitches total, and that will actually be the repeat as we come back to the center single crochet. So let's go through that one more time, and then I will let you finish your round on your own. So single crochet all the way across. Okay, when you get to the chain one space, make a single crochet in the chain one space, chain one, and then make a treble in the space between this single crochet and the next double crochet. Chain one and make another treble in the same spot. Now skip the first 2 double crochets, and in the third double crochet make a V-stitch. A double crochet, chain one, double crochet. Skip the next double crochet into the next one, the very middle one. We're going to make double crochet, chain 3, and then another double crochet. Skip the next double crochet into the next double crochet, make a V-stitch. So double, chain one, double. Skip the next 2 double crochets, and in the space between the double and the next single, we're going to do treble, chain one, treble. Then chain one again. Skip the 4 single crochets, and into the next chain one space make a single crochet. Okay, and then we single crochet in each of these single crochets across to the next chain one space. So that brings us back to the beginning of our repeat, and you can go ahead and finish that up on the next 2 sides, and either slip stitch to join or invisible join is a good idea for this round. Now in round 11, we're going to put on a basic round of half double crochets. If you are worried about your size, you can alter this round to either make it bigger or smaller. You can just as easily make this round as double crochets or single crochets, and either take away some height from the stitches or add to it, whatever you think you need. Okay, so I'm going to start with a standing half double crochet. It's just like a regular standing double crochet, but you know, we're going to pull through all 3 loops when we make it. You can start in any of these single crochets here. I just tend to stick to the center one for consistency's sake. So standing half double crochet, and then we're just going to half double crochet in each stitch across to the corner chain 3 space. So I hit the chain 1 space and I made a half double crochet in that, and then each of these stitches in chain 1 spaces get a half double crochet. Now at the chain 3 space, we're going to make 2 half double crochets into the chain 3 space, chain 2, and then 2 more half double crochets. Again, even if you're using single crochets or double crochets, I would do the same. I would do 2 of the stitches, chain 2, 2 of the stitches. Alright, and then half double crochet in each stitch and chain 1 space across the next side, and then just go ahead and do that all the way around. Half double crochets all the way around with 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets in each corner chain 2 space. When you get back to the very first stitch, slip stitch to join, or again, this is a good round for an invisible join if you are using them. Our very last round, round 12, is just a simple round of single crochet. So if you're already at size, you can actually just leave this round off. Or if you need a little more size, you can change from single crochets to more half double crochets or even double crochets. But my square just needs a round of single crochet. So here we go. You can start in any stitch you want on the side. I tend to just start right in the middle with a standing single crochet, and then we just single crochet in each stitch across to the corner. In the corner chain 2 space, make single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. If you're using half doubles or double crochets, you may want to use 2 and then chain 2 and then another 2. Now we just single crochet in each stitch across the side. Be careful, that first half double crochet is easy to miss. Sometimes it gets hidden under your stitches. So just go ahead and stitch single crochets in each stitch across the side, and that is it. When you get to the beginning, slip stitch to join, or do another invisible join like we've been doing. That's it. Thank you so much for crocheting with me. I hope you absolutely love your Afghan block. And before you go, make sure and click subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all the places: Facebook, Every Trick on the Hook. My blog is everytrickonthehook.com, and on Instagram, Polly Plum. Find me there, follow me, and share some pictures. I can't wait to see what you make.